3 weeks ago, Games Workshop added a huge rule to Warhammer 40k in the form of pivot, which is for vehicles and big monsters on giant bases to basically make it easy to move them around ruins or units or whatever around the board. But they actually already changed that rule, and it's going to affect pretty much every single army in the game, and that's why you need to watch this video. And it's going to affect every single event you go to, including mine, which I would love to take 59 seconds of your time to tell you about that's happening in just over a month. Last year, I did the biggest thing I've ever attempted to achieve. I ran a huge event in Sheffield for the first time. Over 100 players turned up. And this year, I'm doing it again. I said I wanted to raise the bar in quality for 40k events in the UK, and I'm doing just that again. 120 players or more at the OEC in Sheffield on the 31st of August and the 1st of September. A tried and tested format that we had at the OEC last year, and we're doing it again. We also have 2 warm-up dates at our home at Sanctuary Gaming Centre in April and November. So grab a ticket and come and play in the best events that I can possibly run. And I think it's pretty decent. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, Games Workshop brought out a huge new Balance Dataslate, and with it, they added a new rule called pivot. And it's been causing a little bit of drama. So if you don't know, pivot, each time you pivot a model to rotate any amount around its central axis, the first time you do is during each model's move, subtract that model's pivot value from the remaining distance it can move. During that move, if there's not enough distance left to do this, it cannot pivot. Models have a pivot value of 0 unless otherwise stated. Monster and vehicle models, excluding models on round base and aircraft models, have a pivot value of 2 inch unless otherwise stated. And essentially what this allows you to do is allows you to turn the model loads. If you are on a round base, you have a pivot value of 0. And basically what this means is you can spin as much as you like when you move. However, if you don't have a round base, much like this Rhino, if you would like to pivot, you spend an amount of movement, which is 2 inches, and then you can spin as much as you like afterwards, okay? That's essentially what happens, because moving vehicles is actually super weird. So what they did, they added this pivot value to make it easier for more casual players to be like, well, I've spent 2 inches to turn, so now I can just turn as much as I like when I move. And most of the time, this works fine. Except for very specific situations, like skimmers. Let me paint you a picture. Wow, look at this painting. Here is our scenario, chat. Let me draw you a picture. This is a unit of assault terminators with a librarian. Look, okay, look, this situation would never happen, but I couldn't find many models where I'd get the top-down view. These aren't the top-down view, but it's the best I could get, okay? And this is a Drakari Raider, okay? Meow, look at it fly, meow. Let's say the Raider deep strikes. This is a production value I paid £2 a month for. Right, listen. Shut up. So, the Raider wants to charge here, okay? It's done some shooting, it's dropped out its transport, and what the Raider wants to do is to charge here, okay? Now, logically, that charge is 9 inches, okay? Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't been down to buy Hollywood for this level of production. Shut up! Look, if he wants to charge, right, we need a 9, okay? That's the point. However, with the new pivot rule, since this vehicle is on a round base, this model has a pivot value of 0. So when you roll the charge, what you can actually do is turn for free, and now this charge distance is much lower. Let's say it's probably around 7 inches. So what this situation is now making deep striking transports are a lot easier to charge, because what they can do is they deep strike it like this. As I said, we measure into the side of the base. It can deep strike there, and then it can pivot and then charge to make that charge a lot shorter. Now, I don't think this was intended. I think this was a weird happenstance. And I don't think Games Workshop wanted this to be a thing either. But also, they don't want to say anything for some reason. Okay. And I don't know why. Because Tacoma Open happened just this weekend, and they sent an email which was shared on the Southern Oregon 40K Facebook page. Okay, I know I've had to go to Facebook. Now, this is from an email from the Tacoma Open. Finally, we've reached a number of questions from 40K GT attendees on the new pivot rules in regard to vehicles that are on round bases, i.e. skimmer bases, such as the Drakari Raider and Tantalus. At the time of this email, there are no planned updated FAQ or errata documents releasing prior to the rules cutoff. However, you should expect judges at the US Tacoma Open to rule on the new pivots rule as follows. Vehicles on round bases that is wider than a 32mm with a flying stem or a hover stand have a pivot value of 2 inches. So what this means is even though in the core rules when they release them, they don't want to update them for some god knows reason, Drakari Raiders, Tantalus, Eldar Skimmers, Impulsors, Repulsors, Ghost Arcs, etc. now have, or in this event, have a pivot value of 2 inches. So if we go back to our example, what this means is rather than this being allowed to pivot for free then charge, if this turns at all, it costs 2 inches of movement. So now this, what is now 7-inch charge, becomes 9 again. Because it turns and spends 2, essentially. So what they've essentially done is basically say, actually, these models do need a pivot value because the unintended consequence of adding pivot, but unless it's on a round base, like most flying models are, is that they get loads of free movement. But it also says the answer formulated with the Warhammer 40,000 Rules Studio should be considered official for Tacoma, while other tournament organizers are welcome and encouraging this ruling. It should not be considered a general FAQ or errata to Warhammer 40,000. Like, I don't understand this bit. You've said it's formulated with the Rules Studio, but you aren't making it an official rule. Why? Why not? I don't understand. You've clearly worked with them. If this is what the email is saying, why are you not bringing this out? Why is it not being like, oh, actually, there's a little update. Actually, there's a little pink bit here. We're going to be bringing it onto flying models as well. This, in my opinion, is a great fix because having 7-inch deep strikes from charges was stupid, right? You know, 7-inch charges from deep strike was stupid. Being able to just turn your model and then just turning it and getting a 2-inch shorter charge was stupid. I don't understand why they're not making it an official rule if this is from the Tacoma Open team, which it probably is. I don't understand why someone would write this, you know? So I think it's a great rule, but I don't know why they wouldn't just go, oh, actually, let's make it an official rule. Unless they're planning to in the next Balance Dataslate. But that gives us like 2 months, like weird rulings for these flying models, unless they pick it up. I will be picking it up, obviously, because I was going to add that anyway as a rule. But, like, I don't understand why Games Workshop are scared to make it an official rule. If it is from them, if it is, it looks like it's from them. I don't know. What do you guys think? They don't want to lose face and change already. Probably that's the reason. But also, I feel like if they're going to add this crazy new rule, it's probably okay to be like, actually, we missed a bit. Can we just change it a little bit more? Because they're just going to have to add a bit they done goofed when they update it in the next Balance Dataslate, right? Maybe Tacoma is their test. Maybe you're right. That would make a lot of sense if it was just like, that's the tester to say, maybe, does this actually work? But it just seems odd. It seems like a no-brainer to add, and they don't want to. That's where like my head is at. It's like, it's a no-brainer. This is probably what they need to add, but they don't want to, you know? They don't like fixing stuff. They broke after the hassle with Deep Strike through 2-inch engagement ruin shenanigans in 9th edition. Oh god, do you remember that? That was so dumb. And now they've said it's like a design, it's part of the design that you can't charge through walls. You remember that? They made that weird 2-inch engagement from walls so you couldn't hide behind a wall. Then it got really weird because they added bases to ruins. Now they say it's part of the design. It's a feature, not bug. Oh, God. I still remember that video from Innis with the fucking charging thing. It was so funny.
has made the mistake of needing to stand on this 8th edition Team Grease objective marker, and the Hive Tyrant with the Reaper of Blitteraxe, wings not included, has decided that he wants to smack him, but doesn't much love the idea of getting hit back. So what we do is we roll our charge distance, and we roll a decent charge, and we just slide up to here, so that the closest line between us goes through this little bit of terrain, and we're within 2 inches, just like that. We make sure that we leave enough gap that we can go 3 inches and get off the terrain as well. So we smack Abaddon, and unfortunately Abaddon has really good saves and all that good stuff, and we don't actually kill him. So what we do is we just consolidate our 3 inches, come off the terrain, outside an inch, meaning Abaddon's no longer in engagement range. We took Alien Cunning because we're just planning for this. So now we've stolen the objective. Abaddon's taken 7 free mortal wounds, and we're not even getting hit back for our pleasure. And I think GW should maybe consider writing better terrain rules. Just a hint.